Ebusuya 10 bills ena endra anajo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wasade ne nsa hyase ama no aba ye mmara na ebinim bisa se ebre ya NDC ba ye adechie bia no ya pass bill na ye bisa se bills ahodo no ehia Ghana for wo man ye mmara hye bedwafie mu a wono mo kire se NDC aban ba ye se wohwetu ho na mo na nka pass no akosi sei Kamia yese bill ahodo ya His Excellency John Dramani Mahama de ne nsa hyase nyina ye bill a ede mfaso bi ebebre aban no eno nko ane hia no na emom de ede mfaso ebebre Ghana for nso so ehunu se nsem ahodo bi a yempese ye bete yempese ye behunu na ye tan no aban na je atum eno de aban ne mmoso si ebeka ya ebre ye NDC aban eba ye no Yakopon ye NDC adom ama sesi amono kasa de ukọ man ye mra hye bedwafie mu a NDC for equita 2/3 majority na chese wo che mra hye bedwafo mu miensa NDC nko a wo mienu enti so wo pese wo di bibi be ye mra wo mu no obi ntwi nkonua wo mu obi ntwi manso wo mu de koya no magye atum wo mu de koya no magye atum enti die ne si wo mu kwan se eniema hodo bi ye bra no wo mu opposition no wo de ho ntansa ebo MPP aban no ene wo mabayi a obia ntimi no wo mu ntwe no wo mu twentwe wo mu na ase wo ho na emom de di sika be hye aban ne botom de ene ade be chi bia ya pass bill ade be chi bia pass bill ade be chi bia pass bill na no na limdifo ni mpenimfo bi atena se no mo kire se sa bill ya mo pass ya mo se mo de beboa kokofo enso so ebekum kokofo no mfa so be pa na wo so se bill amode aba mo ti koko afuo ene ya yesi ene koko afuo ne ya yesi ne yakosan e ma se Mahama ji atum koko akuafo ne ma wu eno da nchia bills ahodo no so niema bi ewum na pese obaje bre na wo de watie wo de mema me kasa anwa kora ansa na ebetie nimdifo no nkyerechire mu a wo mo de afa bill a endro na jo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ji atum no yeni kantie bill no ehun sem kan be 2 minutes pe ebra His Excellency John Dramani Mahama kosan ye na wo chire mu kakra bi wo be 2 minutes ye wie pe ni agi nkonya kakra ni etie ensem e wo bill nim ne ohawa ede ba beto Ghana for so wada roma mesere se obe like dia mame na wa share na do wadwe nkyere nso aba bill no wadwene mu no de hi na wo hwe aka a esen ka ban de hye mu no de ye mbo sokora e wo man ye mra hye bedwafie mu aba ya rehosem ye ntie Mahama nwie ye wi a na ye ti analysis no nso
10 bills presented to me by Parliament for assent have just been signed. The first is the Customs Act 2026, this voluminous document, Customs Act 2026. It incorporates all the amendments that have been done over the years into one single document. And so it codifies all the Customs Acts into this document. It makes it simpler to administer, and it will make it more efficient, and it will seal the loopholes that have made government lose a lot of revenue as a result of the scattered nature of the law. So that has just been signed, the Customs Act. Then we have the Community Service Act. This is an act to provide for non-custodial service sentences for misdemeanors and other such minor offenses. So instead of putting people in jail and government going to have to pay for looking after prisoners, a lot of prisoners, for stealing goods or for committing some very minor offenses, they can be sentenced to do community service for the period that they are convicted for. So there's the Community Services Act. Then there's the Tribunals Act. The Constitution makes provision for the establishment of regional tribunals. Parliament has passed it, and so this law gives effect to the Chief Justice to set up regional tribunals to deal with certain categories of offenses. There's the Maritime and Related Offenses Act. These are to cover crimes and offenses that are committed at sea, and it gives effect to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which Ghana is a party to. And so this is the local domestic legislation to enforce that particular Maritime Offences Act. Then we have the Act for the National Defense University. As you are aware, we have set up a National Defense University, and this act gives effect to that university accredits the courses and makes it a legal and a statutory entity. So there's the National Defense University Act 2026. Then we have the Income Tax Amendment Act. This act exempts people who earn the minimum wage and below from paying income tax. And so anybody who is on the minimum wage or below the minimum wage is exempt from income tax. Then there's the Energy Sectors Levy Amendment Act. It is to deal mainly with fuel oil for the factories and maritime vehicles that use fuel oil. Before they were exempt, and there was a lot of abuse. And so now they are required to pay the taxes and then present their evidence for reimbursement. And so it will plug a loophole that has existed for so many years. So there's the Energy Sectors Levies Amendment Act 2026. Then there's an interesting one, the Ghana Cocoa Board Act. It incorporates the reform of the cocoa sector, and it includes our promise that we're going to process at least 50% of our cocoa beans locally. And so this act incorporates that. Aside from that, the promise we made to farmers that they will earn 70% of the world market price of cocoa is also contained in this bill. So promise made, promise fulfilled. Then you have the Value-Added Tax Amendments Bill. This bill is to provide for an adjustment in the value-added tax. You remember recently we signed with the large-scale gold mines to surrender 30% of their gold to the Bank of Ghana. This exempts them from paying VAT on it. And so there's the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill. And then we have the Excise Act. So this incorporates all the former laws and amendments on excise into one law. And so it affects alcoholic drinks and other such, cigarettes and other such goods. And it blocks the loopholes for revenue leakage. And so alcohol that is imported into the country, cigarettes and all other such dutiable goods are affected by this act. It also importantly gives exemption from paying excise tax to local manufacturers of fruit juices. It is supposed to give them an incentive in their production. So if you produce fruit juices locally, this act exempts you from paying excise duty. So 10 bills signed today. And thank you very much.
Kiki, Bill Lydia, you know, I catch my attention. A tribunal.
Okay,
yeah. You're watching ye. Because you see now, you're passing into bill, no more be set it up.
Law, yeah.
Or more be set it up tribunals. Now, I feel. Ye be do asem within 1 day, 2 days. Said that it is so ja ban mu brain or mote tribunals ye do ko gina ho no mo acha 30 minutes. Yes, the tribunal finds you guilty and you are sentenced to firing squad. Sentenced to death by firing squad. Papa near the okonia ko bo tu akun. We should watch out. 2, community service bill. I know the KK mepe. And yet, case biana, I was a nipa to prison. And yet, biana was a year custodial sentence. Am I prisons now so choked? Inti KK sisi aitwe. Ubia ya remandi ubia anwansi wa demu saas yini nasema. Ena ubi misdemeanor niye dena kotum. Ubia kuya ayi mfanti kinki banchi abe na yede na to prison na hwa yemma into community service bill ne de ye eno kra be isi e de na e ha adwene se wakobokro no ne ya chew na yɛde tag abɔ w'akyi sɛ da bia bɛte gata mu ɔkɛgye tia afe asotwe bɛɛ ne kyɛn wei ɛyɛ kyɛn sɛ yɛde wobɛkɔ akɔto afiase o keke wote aseɛ yɛ gata mu na asi ɛfi ne adeɛ ɛwɔ nkurom ne ade nansia mehwɛ video bi aberante bi a wakɔwia nnua ntaaboa yɛde bɔ danso akɛseɛ ne bi ɛna kurom wɔfo akye no ɛna nnua menim sɛ nnua no ɔmhyɛ da de bi ka ho because deɛ ne sono no nyɛ no na ɔkɔwia sɛ no na ɔkɔwia kɔ no koraa ɔntimi mfa nyɛ dɛ ɛnkɔ na keke ɔmakyekyere nnua yi na ɔmode ayere no na ɔm sɛ ɔmode ɔmommo no ɔmfa nnua no nkɔ no ɔmudi n'akyi na ɛdua no nso nsɛ ntaabo na ɛyɛ a sɛ wansoa ne mfimfini a ɛdɛn wo sɛ na ne ho mfifire ne ne kɔ ɛno koraa yɛ punishment enough wote aseɛ ntimi deɛ community service bill no deɛ ɛyɛ yɛnhwɛ kwan a yɛbɛfa so a yɛbɛtumi a decongest yɛ prisons no na nya biribiaa na ɛwɔ sɛ yɛde nnipa kɔto afiase nneɛma bi wɔ hɔ nom a ɛwɔ sɛ yɛma nnipa no som wɔ kuro mu hɔ na yɛde twe n'aso sɛ ɔte aseɛ sɛ naawɔtwe mmienu ɛna ɛwɔ sɛ wobɛyi gata mu a na wabɛyi gata mu a wowia na wokɔ fie wote aseɛ ɛyɛ asotwe enough wode ɛhwɛ sɛ wawi abankye ɛwɔ kuro ketewa mu na nka yɛde wo kɔɔ kɔɔto sɛ yɛnsa mfa wo mmra kuro mu hɔ a ne yɛmmɔ dawuro mu obiara nte aseɛ sɛ bankye no a wowi a yɛnti no wodɔ kwan ho a bɛɛ afe adama sɛ wodɔ ɛkwan ho a bɛɛ bosome ɛyɛ bɛboa kuro no kiki so ate aseɛ ahantimi deɛ yɛ last one ɛyɛ cocoa board bill I think sɛ ɛnyɛ sɛ kiki sisi ayɛ no mmerɛ yɛ a president asan yɛsɛ woyɛ cocoa kuani na ukotwa ukoko egu ekwan bes na enye se galamsey pese o keke emfa se koko na nyini obese utwagu na udua obo atodwe foforo na onya koko nsiwa ndezi ni ye be chiwodo akọ na hefa na obekọ akọ report yise o ka kire koko board mpacho omo districts bia mu ana
eno na ye me head ka ye mo se wa pass
me krum adanse asokwa district meaning baby a cocoa board for office or anai bia agric extension officers no ene do omo beye se adwuma na omo mayi na se cocoa kuani bi ohiani bi anko fall foul to the law say ono di onim ni cocoa no na ebia anyini entimenso ebia yare bi asim ntafe otwagu na nko de atodwae de afa ase na afi yebeka obi beka kudi obi ade ne bohye empe wasem obetimi akoka so wotwa okuku agu na beba yesi ade na wotwa okuku na gu amaje permit na utranye ya yede wokọ yede ukudi wasem yesi de utranye ya yebetimi de watu mu mfie ba adu no na ase ne sei keke ase pa ne sei se me madomi koko na bia koko no mateso abe koko na nyini me ho na me problem o se ebia ye pese edi si omo a omo ton ama galamsefo na omo de camera asi wo omo so na omo kan se an koko no me ana me duaye me twagu na bi ha hwe koko no pa asopeche green one enyamre na se kan dem tim etwagu but se obia do koko na nyinia na koko no keke adabraka ye ma me mo akuafo ne papa mo akuafo yesrɛ mo NDC fo no bone aba mo trim nti mo hwɛ mo hoyi mo hwɛ mo hoyi se ba utrim se obetwa koko agu ebia koko na nyinia mesrɛ ko hu district agric officer na on kyerɛ okwan a obefa so because obi pe obone a owetimi afa kyerɛ ko report especially MPP for opposition is here say NDC ni bi kura pe obone na ba o power yi obato se utwa okoko bia enye bo apayo nti na utwa kokoko na owetimi afa kyerɛ ko ka na wakoto adwam die besre. But apart from that, maybe any I can the omopa de ompe bi omunye.
O se di obo pa di obo pebia obo enye but mesa ba onche ebio doc mesa ba onche but ebia answer be kodo reshuffle ba ku bi because so any interest in that and I mean try be hon komra
but I mean come say na any issue for discussion
any issue for that
you do ebia enye fa to ni so
bro jaja video de be wo say aye talk of social media.
Yes, no 9 no 10 no 9 no 10. What I say? So blue judge and fear doing get your boy. Now the share position say the man office of the special advisor to the president in charge of resilience and disaster preparedness.
National resilience and emergency
preparedness. National resilience and emergency preparedness. Me pa cho na NADMO director general ne regional directors of NADMO no ne district directors of NADMO no omo dwuma ne say. Mo sori am say na mo Rashid Pepo die no.
Aye.
We nyina azie ne say. Enti broja jemfina yen kaeti for yaw. Yen substantive minister ifri ho. Now one atofos nana acting, but he was the deputy. Wahodi fought na for 1 year as a deputy minister of defense. No, one for substantive na mano. Is it the case? Is a new defense minister nempeno? Is it the case? Say new defense minister no. So no sufra Ashanti region.
No, no sufra Ashanti.
Into among pesa Ashanti region for me, you know. Ebe hold the defense ministry and interior ministry no so is headed by Asamwase MP. Intini bia among penisa. But so penisa na position ma create bibi di amane sisi yo. Yamane nomenclature bi di aken so.
Because me can say bia me na me near current I mean say sa position
no ma create man no bi no me dey to kono. Presidential advisor on agribusiness and the meanwhile minister of states and the presidency in charge of agriculture and your minister of agric and food Eriko and Omsako creative to corner the enemy. We are mostly lean government government. Hedoma creative man Rashid Purpose is here Canadian enemy me kind say and Rashid Purpose the no. You are reassigning the office of the president.
Special initiatives. Special initiatives.
Minister of State. Special initiatives. Special initiatives. Like initiative amodi abaye. Nkoko nkete amoku mu nyina ade wo maye nkwan. Eno ne ye 1. 2. Eye marketer. Yes, see a move egu market.
Minister of State for Special Initiatives.
Yes. Enche our win omakobu market mono ama yesi our win MP bu afu se won tiase ono NDC ni MP no wase won tiase se omakobu market because market na NPP na asienti mobu market ni nyina eguse mu se asi market foforo mu wi am special initiatives keke special initiative o de me bisaw NDC buy initiative ben omo de aba apart from kokon nkete na wa president mu kuta akokɔ baako na camera sisi ne so no de apose say a social intervention kiki sisi ai 24-hour economy secretariat openi gusitano e de abetu dwa say sa the so called 24-hour market na mu sie no enye ono ne secretariat no. They have no idea into bisa ho se hwan mo enesi wo mu si 24-hour economy marketing na kejetia kra ye busy place keke ebo no nwotwe a hwan na ekoto banji dia menti ase se mo kan say 1 job 3 shift 3 people in this 24-hour economy market no mu si na nyanyam bia shelter no mu besisi no omo be de be mani pa me ensa bia na o ba no pa na beton na botu anu ayi ni o manyina free store ni mu na ukofie na obi nso aba beton amana ba anwumre 8 no ayi ni nioma kọ no obi foforo abe start anwumre 8 amana kọbọ anopa 7 na because na shift system nipa me ensa o ta se ba senke ekoye se nipa ba akọ a on create hwe na keke I am telling you say nkro na omu sisi sa market no ba bia ni ho ebabo anwumre no nso na market ni nipa wom na anwumre no nso debi eye kro nketwa satellite community say twa ho ahia obi a bedi ni dwa anopa apart from that no kra na say nkro no mo 1 day pe our market near functional Meme district the biggest I think one of the biggest market in Ashanti region Fumso Adansi Fumso market eno yedi yawade dwanko from after yawada market ne demu empty sa kopem the following week yawada ota say baby adwadifo ni si ewo sesi a ne keke he memene dawe mekwa yie ho na mere hoye se funsu market no enye musimu si foforo obi ene je ho ba keke asase o kokodwo nkwanta in between funsu ne kodwo nkwanta asase tradada da ho a obi anye so adwuma eho na o se ka ukosi market no na omo old site ho enti wo new one na well established market na nka move traders ni nyina de wo mo kɔ na old site no e wo krom se nkɔfo beje asisi adan ana stores kra na kɔ maye na keke we de omo move adwadifo no de wo mo kɔ in between sa baby american and o ma creating mission structures in tabo no m de chense aboso kakraka no makɔ ena baby omo wona nkombe mo ma no masini wa ha no o makobu ho na guse afa no musie double cost odwene ho a wonti ase o ti de mekanase enti wo de yemfa say o wa ha ena wo pese wusi aha ne nye but yama wasase wo tia ya mas ada na wo ma yenwa ha na wonsi new one wo tia ya mas asase foforo no so na ye wie a na ko move ye dey ekotia ya mas but sesia no tia ya mas asase foforo no aton table de akobbo ntable dan saa de nchense eguso move ye nyina ayeko eno abe collapse ha de ensa ha na wo sesie mentiase but when the woman na tumi no wo nsamti no emrepam ni ebengu ni ebeko befu su market ni de ye be so besi omonye omontem because baby asisi e ma ne wona teche pa no baby omo de omo
sabi yansa ben pa na was adi we yo Dr. Enoko Wahine champion beda say Ernest na opex ye
medase na aminchia makonta Dominic ohwe yes ohwe programming akonta mechiao pa na ebusuafo nyina mechiao minua mamemfa new bills ya John Dramani Mahama the president a pass e de abreye hwe meba me kra na menyante se ordinance ashe ase ameba na obi frɛ me na me ye madwen se me kenka na obi sam se na Ghana for ni sie sos ne ensore mpanimfo a no me demonstration na danko akufuado one pass LGBTQ WRS plus omo wen
na W na
say move omo wen ana amusa se sa bewe ene sa trumu be na ba de ne di kan e baaye na nya John Dramani Mahama no omo ma ye ti ase so ndo ba ya wo hwem kura no wo san nti kosi sen ene ne de ye sign eno ho e de mra foforo ana abai nam se a me de eja me se me ne hwan Ghana fo NDC fo ana moma ye hwe ya no mo sa anwea onom de gu ye garim to the sense say Sam George any group omo ye hunu say omo no mo tie e wo Ghana nyina omo de sa tumutumu abrabo no omo person betibi kura omo abrabo betibi kura omo asom enti President Akufo-Addo wan sign tie nkosem no John Dramani Mahama de oba ye obesan oba no obechechire yemu say ye morals
ba wo say we no so kro pass wo parliament here enti that the tables
let's say na wo pass you say minority anyway minority so
I'm sorry
it's so more pass enti LGBTQ no eye den
that the tables
any enti sign eye die na asie ye dede keke e wo kromo a e man people ho boning na nkramofo oka asori for bishops ni ye kan ye demonstrations ene da ho no na keke adia ene president apasi adia ba ko yimi ho pa aye da tribunal na asaba no wonum si yesusua no se na oti tribunal na sie obi ti ate no ni obi ti ate NDC PNDC NDC ena na use sa de we pa Jerry John Lawrence ne time ni use sa de we na se wo hwɛ mra no mo hyehye ye no ene de we city a ehu yie keke ehu na de mpese Ghana 40 ase ne say sa bill na ya pass a aba no mo nya madwene say eye politician kwa na be di no nya politician kwa obi a be di ne diwa let us see the composition enipa ya composition a omo se na say omo yetimi yi wo omo mi yetena wasem so enye sese bi o yesinka me ka se mraninfo nko a wo da bi o nye mraninfo nko a yesim mranim ni ba ko na ya ponti timamufuo na se timamufuo bi abeka no ho na se wutra anye yie na asem kro a aba no timamuni kro a wo mu no woni ne wa asem ana say asem ne ben na e kwan be so no do be fa
omo be say NDC fu na no
na say ne obi kan so obi an go onimu ana meboa na keke ye hwe ye circuit courts any court ahodo yesisi na omamu a na na dan ko Akufo-Addo adaroma esisi ye allo judge for say ne wom a judge for ko nya bi o baabi na anu ye na case bi o mampon me for that case me friend o say o omuni judge asante mampon na judge ni wo ebi ni ho enti assembly ye ntena so e James a visiting judge bi na eba minim say so manya bi kura I don't know I stand to be corrected no kura ni ye ni bi enti die ben na wo say wo ye asoman penny so se o pese court semo a eche judicial system no improve na dia no so ye enye judges bebe no say you making sure say you call no mutu the judicial service to the sense say wo mo ba grade omo accept bi anye bia no omo timi aye lawyer adwuma ache na timi stadium so no omo bra boni wo mo ni ye no kekaye enhye danim na sie se bi upgrade omo na sie ye promote omo a na sie do mo ko these areas a enye na beboa sense na even kwa keke I very say judges kura na omo ye professionals no kura no ye hwe de we omo life omo si live omo life se ne be ya tem bi omo timi edi asomadi ni yie no enti no ya mom certain special treatment omu social life kura no aye star bi anameboa na wo ye be set court tribunal our district ni pakro no wosori otimi ne wona fofo wona na fofo timi ko brudwa tem oni wona fofo no mko asode ena ekota wasem so adie ha Ghana fo ene America papa
he said courts, he said you can the omode courts
no
na tribunal
ye hwe ne wo kura na ye free say no wo go through training se bia ji omudie ne free so omudie se wiase nyame ni ho a ye ka asem die ne ebu aten a wo na esi nyame na wa asase so ye hwe kwan ya omudi nipa nam so na obi asabi wo on shede ni ene proper training bia ni akost empana no se wasemu aba ni point NDC organizer youth organizer chairman constituency organizer ni de na betena so na se wo ya MPP ni wo ya CPP no nya asemu a ana se nipa na nya asemu ya NDC ni a obedi asem ni sei yemusa ye ho obedi asem ni sei you see baby a omudi ye kro no NDC di ye kro no ehu mi ehu keke asem ni ehu na ye hwe se wa paase se ade NDC fo omutimi nya so be dane bema amana koyo oba na so be dane oba amana be ye bema eni di nyame ya awie etu ontimi nye ba se Ghana ha pa de omo numbers na de mo no eni tirimu da be show mu no de keke ombe ye a lot ombe ye bebre na yen start
that just 2 years now cannot
mama for mom yem eno de yen fa ni easy e wo memu ha secondly yesi ye ba abeboa e ma adwadie efiri nyuma akoso ye hwe bill ya paasi woni misa bill ya ma paasi sa SS customs and SS bills on my point massa say a two bi a beba already to na barada but say the to me amom more to me keke say who default to obedem say who default your friends and tax payment obedem entine mo ye businesses mo ye other jobs mo hweye na etuotua de eye ba se wutua tuotua event etwamenebo atwo de ehu keke ebu ehu hwe se wokoye aduma akoye supply na wakoye no so akoye supply na se ebia eye 1000 aban edu 20% of 1000 20% ana aban eje on supply enti beye den ena wo se wo ye private man wo bie wadwuma aban no amu wadwuma na se bia wakọ ye wadwuma wanya usika no first na time ani ese Ghana e den kura na 4% flat rate ebi bita na 4% flat rate etina ma adwuma amanfo ye na koso na amanfo so timi tua ye se ko 20% 4% ko no mo dodge na 20 eni nti se yakɔhye mra edi tumi anu odin edi ama wo mo eji se de adwumayefo mo ama biebie mu nyuma stores eni eke kan mra na ba se da mo hye eyidade eche na mo hwe mo abrabo ye na se atrabu na aba ne de to no wantua na se viefo ba na ba twere obedem enya politicians nko na bedem se mo biebie mu nyuma no mo tumi hwe yi na mo to no mo ntua ne ye o mu se wo soro ba mi wani tua eno sense ye be chekire wo ye do akɔhye ba bia ni wo so akɔhye ye na so yanim tribunal yi region na wo mpa ne de ne mpa kom kwa ya Asante region anameboa Ashanti region enti yetimi set target bi yes set policy bi near target certain people bi near their target wo so I mention na say enti be bia Ghana aircon no ene se hye ya NDC atati hye de ba no keke ye educate public ni seriously na ehu na bibia nye ma reho se koko akuafo ye nananom ye nuanom ye busuafo mu do koko enkene ye mra do koko fo so sei President Akufuado ene na ne ye fere sei je Akufuo mre so ye hwe de wia na koko akuaye akono esiye na na de ko Akufuado ene man krofo starting say emrante mu kreska krachi fo mu kreska start mu peska ko to koko no ma jom ho akuaye enye mra anya mra o enye wo hye so eye incentives abane ne to ho ni na kona abane hye ye man ye fe ene man for starting say no o me na no afi no obi aka o me kura me ka me na gya koko obi ye kura obi anko ne me nkwa ene abane starting say wo bua na koko na anyini abro so wo twa ne de body afase ye tua okuani ne ka ya manapafo na yama extension officers akodua koko no ama koko na ye kama ene ma koko starting say in production e kosoro ene sa tu koko mu etu koko bag 3000 ni akire ema NDC de emrade ene kasade ebeda da Ghana fo na me no kasei koko board yagu no egu ese ke koko board wai koko no kura manfo etia yenyo katofo yenya atofo anene endi sede na ababia ni kokoko semo no ena mudi akose wan galamsem sese manya bibia ko gold enti amasa bi sabi akuafo no mote wono me say me ya me research me call Western North keke me say me real hoy now we work is about illegal mining and its effect on environment et me confirmed ko take data na me so duru ho a koko haban no aye kokoko ache se koko no hura ho obu onso ye tu ana koko no e hye mfimfin se kuani ni ntimi nko na eba se ya kuani bere no won ka se me koko asase me de che anasa me kwoto je 500,000 ana me boa because koko ri so ntimi nso na haba ya ko eduro ya se no enti se okuani ni se okay sa na ko ba dia se so nyame adom mami ehunu se galamse no won faso esi koko akuayo eni emento na de menya bia me fa so me na bi munza me mabi no munza so me dim kokope bebi kakra no mo so ntena wa ko se mra to no so se koko kurare so wudua e very say wo kodua ayi bode wo kura che so beje permission na do fi se NDC ba keke o mo ka san wei e de kire akuafo a enka Ghana for to about the amamo keke me say NDC eyo omo egbonto ano na omo keka sansam wei say ye ba ye be ye hyehyeye say wo koko afuo kura no say ekoba say wo fi koko na nyini enti mpese me titem me twade da no guo na me titem na me say peja afuo na chese me ko twro krata na ban emma mitumi ansa na se adwumadie no matimi adi asem ye kana we hefa enso ne John Dramani Mahama wo numbers no trimuda eye NDC fo ma ento mutimi hye mra bi omope ento mo hye ye se yakosan ya from ya ba ya besan na nkasa bi asem we ye kana we ye kana office ente kuaye no kono na efe sɛ na dan ko akufo hyehyɛ ma ne yɛ fɛ ɛyɛ akɔna nkrɔfo nam pɛbo sɛ koto kokoo no enkamra wo bɛhyɛ ka wo nhyɛ saa mra wei ba sɛ ne kokoo no it doesn't give up anything ekuaye enya akɔno biem wote ase industry mo agu no mo de toa kɛse atoto mo so amena industry sagu product ekofem because ohwe ya fence budget omo ba ya no mo kenka budget na so ohwe sika ene very say industries there and the effect on the economy negative me when another don ko Akufo-Addo was starting 115 we saw it say na industry no before up but because of say burning nti amasa sector we nyina egu na nka gene kire so say ukɔhye mra ede tu kokoo kwani a wo hye ne kura ase na na man is kakoto kokoo no edi keke I think say Ghana for yan gasa ya kofa abanya asabio obedi ewu na de na beto yeso but enche emre ne beso 2028 ni nse Ghana for be che o madwene
okay nia me kan say good born sense no keke sisi no on say ye lose focus yeah NDC for strategy no mo media house no especially any NPP media house no mamu lose focus sa astonishing allegation against minority leader Mr. Mamu place premium omo dey asem ne court mumma legal battle no entwaso na yen stay focus on a kana aban.
I think that the same thing plan and mekai because a cow or say a Bank of Ghana and you but
sikake CC keke ubekum na nyeka ubekum pa na nyeka na ayubi ene sika na kugu ni butum but ye de ahye so se eyeka what you say enti ho ene wo say focus eko na yenjai sa allegations na mini minority leader awo de court nyaade se wo mu ja wo be ka asem no e de akosi awie mama yemisa the relevant questions sekiki okay say last year mu ho ba bi say early this year Dr. Gideon Boako eno na abukwadwe opon kroma de betu dwa say Ghana ye gold reserve ane wo ho no aban ne ton no bra na ebo no efo eton gold no afedie gold bo be ye de na de ye toye na ye se ye nsan ko hwehwe nipa kora otoye no ne nkoto nsan fa meguo hwan ne ton ma no ema difference ne ko ya about $13 billion afedie se ye nsan koto emra eno sa asem no se kan ya sa de ato nchen ede nkwan na wo sa sector ho no mo a ama de bia se ka eba ho sa se to gold ni ebo kase na keke unim se gold board board composition no Bank of Ghana governor ni board member of gold board tio Bank of Ghana governor a member of gold board Minister of Lands and Natural Resource a board member of gold board Minister of Finance a board member of gold board enti e kana aba no say see ebinum aboka no enkofo mo head ministries akese na omo saye se adwuma ye o na governor o hwe Bank of Ghana now say a board member a gold board KKTU Bank of Ghana kotam sika edi akoma gold board so onkoto gold mra o governor now wo say a board member a gold board finance minister say a board member a gold board sika na ekoye no yesi gold board for ton ye no mo do munya amfaso na emom sika na gold board agi free Bank of Ghana ho no eno na Bank of Ghana for boka eye de na oboka sika na free waso ye abaha omode ba no anso yesi baabi anya amfaso baabi aboka asemu ekoti no hin na nia konsu ni nyina me se da bia me ya me de hye me NPP fo nkran se sometimes mu de munya abotre na nkofo ntwampoa emre yeni nkaso se bodua anka nantwie eto ono odi ne na de efiri asamado ne maame yam eba wiase no no nantwie no bodua na anka neto na wo konfo a wo ya twama wa wo di ayi nkonya wo ewiem a wo huri dwam ana bodua na beka wo nsem enti power transient ebedrum rebi no obekọ obi foforo beba oti ase na ye wo ha ene ye te nsem a obi timi hye nyameanum ka se Haptel Dr. Baumi adia na auto credit bi ayisu Haptel app na sika obeto bi ayo percentage e ko Baumi aho twa tro kese sei eto Dr. Baumi aso ka se na nado danko akufu ado lose the mental stability. I also the leader of man. You can't be losing the mental stability and not just an arguing your view per constitution. So, you say leader must be out of sound mind and sound waiting made your mind and him. San your ma way now, can you? Keke, o can san your ma way now. And they drew at that percha. But in your din not buying our power. Until Bassy, I know a true journalist no mo do mo fu ene nam na gum no mo ka ye mo ka yo yate ebeduru baabi no keke ebeduru baabi ye be ka ko fan krata ye be fa IMF for report afi ube ba be ya no enti wo de ne mmere ya wa ba wo power no kan ye opa bia kan ye upe bia but de wo se uhunu ne se ebedu baabi na oni tumi biu eche se de ya ontena konwa so anko awiye aban be sesa na da ponchire ni be wuo no eni be hu de ne tenten enti mu de mu ntwampoa na mu nka ne amope yesi moto gold aboka IMF na eka ade na won target IMF aden and I won't target IMF. Kiki, because when him says these institutions before the report beban, they meet the countries and the state institutions concerned. Bank of Ghana mwajia to must sign report and answer or more publish it. Sometimes baby you now defer, then you challenge it. No more so the I modification and sign a report on the beba aba. Sana Garrett projects. Accra World Bank and so they report to Betuja say for the whole of 2025 government and release sika omo release sika eno mko yi sika ni mu $13 million every Garrett fund ni mu de koye bibi foforo World Bank they report no Betuja ukoka bia na edi watem meanwhile World Bank na nka say twere de mu ntimi nka ho asem say strategy no yeni sebe nyom yenye nyoma enye ba report no ba na so obi koka ho asem a odi obeka ho asem bia yen fa ya dwen yankos ne yeni nipa koratem wo de to aso report no obi a copy emre pa beba emre ne ba na afi ye kofa report na ya wasa akogina simpie so aya accounting to the people na wasa akotwa mpo adi atem otase enti mesre me party for say omunya ntobase omunum so ntwen ope eka bia aba Bank of Ghana gold board emrepem ombe account otase emrepem because they say there woyɛ dɛ ya wobɛka sɛ dɛ ne yɛbɛka ma Ghana fo ateɛ no yɛngu so nka